but the Corki can definitely put out a decent amount of damage.
Is this the Nunu game? Just thinking about some of the junglers that have been banned away, Kog'Maw, focus on to Trick. I think it's always a risk, especially against a high damage jungler in the form of Kha'Zix. But you look at the jungle pool and you can see it's been very pinched very hard.
Yeah, I'm personally not a fan of Nunu right now. I only play him when he's extremely overpowered and has huge win rate gains, and that is not the case.
To be fair, you're never a fan of Nunu, Kobe. However,
exactly.
However,
sometimes I will play him though.
Let's see, tanky jungler Zac, something Trick has played in the past. What else is in the pool if they don't lock this in? Because it's a difficult scenario when you see all the picks and bans and making their way all the way down. Feels like this might actually be the case.
I feel like they're being forced into getting an engage from somewhere. So by drafting the Zac, they at least have a way to start fights. But with some recent nerfs to Zac, he gets very low in the jungle. And with some of the wave clear that Samsung have and the pressure they can get from their lanes, it could give the ability for Ambition to get in a lot of invades and force Trick out of his own jungle.
Also, won't be the easiest for him to camp around mid lane, as that's what we see very often from successful Zac games, trying to use that Fog of War and the multiple angles that they could try and camp mid. But Galio actually very good wave clear and doesn't have to expose himself too much.
You've also with Core JJ, Sven has now just gone back himself. So no real advantages, but now Ambition may be caught out.
All right, let's see how much damage can come down. The entrance comes up, stretching strike as well. Not going to be enough to connect. Realm Warp as Perkz is chasing Ambition down, going very eager. Gets the flash out of Ambition, follows up. Rune Prison, Spell Flex, first blood available to Perkz at G2.
G2 finally get themselves on the board. Perkz is the one to... Ben actually has a CS advantage in the Kog'Maw map.
Oh, this looks like a dive if you've ever seen what people on both sides flanking. They might
on the
call
wall,
it off.
Ambition is the one that gets caught out. Oh, the blast don't even get popped. Good damage because of Perkz being caught out. Hero's entrance will delay Trick. That cell division may get used. Stretching strike comes out. Trick, let's bounce underneath the tower. Now Ambition is killed. Oh, Trick, that was beautiful. Cuvée, though, is looking for the rupture. Doesn't want to risk getting engaged upon by Expect. And G2 get their second kill.
What a split right there. Cell division also coming in very handy for Trick as he gets Ambition right under the turret for the extra skirmish in the jungle rather than finishing off that top turret. You know, if it goes down to minions, then you lose a little bit of gold as the local gold doesn't go to anybody in particular. Ruler actually with a fairly risky open onto Perkz.
I mean, he has no flash.
Got barrier and wild growth to play with. Little leap over the wall. Trick decides to let's bounce towards Crown. Crown's gonna look for that Durant, flash forward for the taunt. Here comes Kha'Zix. Ambition unable to find the kill. Sven trying to hammer away. Now Mithy's taken down. Sven continues to run for his life. The Akakian surprise might be able to pick one up. Decides to peel backwards. Perkz needs to clean up the damage. Ruler, if he gets spotted, the damage is there. Spell Flux and Overloads continue to pound down as Expect completes the teleport. Cuvée decides to rush in. Realm Warp goes out. That gets them out. That's going to be the passive onto Trick, and G2 gets smashed.
Ambition living the Kha'Zix dream there. Galio ult comes down. He uses his own ultimate to gain invisibility. Also gets...
Turn things around.
Yeah, so let's look at how it all started out. You know, Trick ultimate there is dodged by Ambition using the leap. And then here's the Crown initiation you're talking about. By himself, he almost chunks Mithy and Sven down to 50%. Gets the Janna ult out as well. That leaves Mithy an easy target. Ambition activates his Void Assault, so he gets that extra visibility, buying him time enough to also kill off the Kog'Maw, and the wild growth enables him to survive and even exit the fight.
And Perkz is doing so much damage, but there's always a tank in his way.
Yep.
He can't actually commit to Ruler because Crown is just standing in his face and just making his life as difficult as possible. You can't land skill shots if there's just this giant-ass Colossus dude just standing in the way being like, no, I'm going to keep my carries alive.
And they've actually got two giant-ass dudes to stand in front of him. Ambition jumped over and he got a quick wink at him, but again, comes in, Crown's going to block off any sort of DPS that he can put out, and it's one of the things that people talk about with Ryze always.
G2, all of a sudden, Samsung have got positioning on the Baron. Recall interrupted by Perkz, and Samsung, they're pushing through the jungle and the mid lane.
Look at the mid. Expect is going to answer, but G2 are the ones in the awkward position. Sven!
Oh, Sven gets chunked out, burst down, blown up. Crown takes him out. Trick is next on the list. Manages to get Let's Bounce, takes Ambition over the wall. The tower not going to be enough to kill this time around, and Sven with no flash, gets eaten alive.
The patience pays off. Ambition slips into, oh, Ruler now!
Not done yet. Ruler all of a sudden continues to move forward. Trick gets the elastic slingshot, bounces away to safety, but that was a flash blown from Perks, and Samsung can use this to their advantage.
They're running straight towards the Baron. Ruler's still alive. Kube and Ambition are set up for success. Remember, you have the ulti from Kube too. Let's see if Trick can get here in time.
Specs trying to run down Core JJ. Luckily, the Warmogs will heal Trick back up to HP, but this is so difficult. Realm Warp will deliver Perks into the area of the pit. Jumps in from Trick. Smite fight. Samsung secure it, but that was oh so close. Trick will get popped into Cell Division. There's not enough firepower to save his life, and Samsung 6k gold and Baron are 1 win away from the quarterfinals.
Trick came so close to securing that Baron with his smite, but it was Cuvée that gets it in the end. Samsung have the amazing fight. They very quickly transition that into a Baron, and now they're the ones in control of the game. G2 haven't even been able to get a tower this game so far, and it's the Samsung team fight that's coming out on top.
On top of it all, Cell Division for Trick also not going to be available for their last-ditch effort trying to defend at the inhibitor turrets. Here comes the Baron up Samsung. I mean, this one, he's going for the steal against a Cho'Gath ultimate as well as the Spite, and he almost got it in spite of how stacked the odds were against him.
70 health was left on that.
And something
Baron.
tagged it for another 68. 70, then 2, then Feast. At the end of the day, Samsung secure the Baron. Man, what a lane. G2 are down 12,000 gold. It's such a difficult scenario to be in. They were already at a disadvantage, compositional-wise, in terms of pulling it off in complexity. Ruler, spray and pray, starts to open up, does somewhat get interrupted. Wild Growth comes out. Redemption's buying some time. And the first victim of the fight, gonna be Trick. His passive gets popped. Ambition jumps back in. Mithy forced to flash away. Core JJ and Crown being protected down in the front line. Trick is, in fact, now dead. So is Expect. There's no front line to speak of. Sven, despite being untouched, flashes away from the rupture. Looking to chase. Perks gets a Rune Prison down.
They get him.
Just to get down Ruler. But is it going to be enough? Not enough just yet. Realm Warp is going to allow some further chasing. There's a split up from Samsung Galaxy, but there's supers inside the base.
Samsung can still be happy though. They're able to.
Seconds. He can do it, but that's the difficulty. Where do you buy that time?
Yeah, that's what's been giving G2 the slightest hope in these fights has been Sven's auto-attacking.
Tanks to the back line. That's a great stretching strike. Ruler now continues to peel away, firing with that ultimate. Nature's Grasp gonna at least delay somewhat the SSG onslaught. Expect now continues to back, flash forward for the Feast. Perks looking for Cuvée. Ruler zoning away Mithy. Sven remains untouched at full HP, but it's a 5-man stack of Samsung inside the base. Now Perks for the re-engage. Locks down Crown. 1,300 HP. Still alive. Still able to get away.
Sven to come. Kog'Maw is the heart of the team.
Look at the TP on Expect. Inhibitor has just respawned, and G2, they're feeling pretty confident.
Ambition, 15 seconds before he respawns. Samsung have been pushed away from the Elder Drake.
But they're running mid, they're running mid!
There's a flank opportunity. G2 Esports need to back away. Ruler, Core JJ, there's only one Nexus turret in their way from a spot in the quarterfinals. Trinity continues to chase down. Samsung get the Elder Dragon!
Extremely well played by Cuvée. He takes the Elder Trick. Smite is not strong enough, and now G2 have to perform the miracle once again.
And here comes Samsung, another inhibitor down. Elder Dragon buff on. Cuvée coming up the middle.
Double super minions in every lane. Perks is looking for Ruler. Ruler opens up. Rune Prison comes down, summon a heal used. Perks stays alive for a few seconds longer. Ruler back to full HP, continues to run. The entrance comes down from Crown. Trick gets popped once again. Cell divided. Perks still trying to fire away on the sideline. Sven is long. Monsoon buys time. Sven continues to run. He's down. He's dead. They're done. G2 Esports get wiped. Get aced, and the Hourglass buys a few seconds longer. The only man surviving is Expect, and Samsung make quarterfinals.
What a clutch ending there. We had such a slow game for so much of it, but G2 mounted one of the best base defenses that we've seen so far at Worlds, but it just could not cut it at the very last moment.
EU teams and Nexus plays, man. What is it? That it doesn't matter the year, the team, or the players. ridiculous shenanigans happen in the base.
Samsung will lock in their quarterfinal spot, and unfortunately for G2, their fate is no longer in their hands. The best hope they have of the quarterfinal spot is to hope for the tiebreaker, and they cannot force it.
And that means